Hi, David Seymour back with another session of the nitty gritty of selling, and today's episode is entitled The Hustle. So why have I called it The Hustle? That might sound a little bit dodgy for some people, but I tell you what, the hustle is the same as prospecting. So you just need to change your thinking a little bit. Always be looking at how you can actually get another deal, another listing, another sale, another job, whatever it is. It's always hustling. So, what's so hard about the hustle? Nothing. It's about talking about what you do. Always just asking those little questions of people like, hey, who do you know? Or if you're having a beer with somebody one day and they go, oh, Johnny's thinking of buying a new ute and you happen to sell utes. Wow, look at that. You're in the money. Don't wait for Johnny to ring you. Phone Johnny and say, hey, I heard in the grapevine you might be looking at a new ute. Boom, it's the hustle. It's the same as you're talking to your neighbours and they go, oh, my mum and dad are moving into a retirement home, or they're selling up and moving to the beach. You go, oh, cool. So what do? You phone mum and dad, or get hold of mum and dad somehow, or go round to the mum and dad's place and go, hi, look, I heard in the grapevine that you might be looking at selling because you're doing X, Y, Z. It's about being proactive, not waiting for people to ring you. Because if you go, oh, here's my card, I'll get them to ring me, it might not ever happen. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try that, okay? I mean, you have to do that at some stage as well. But the thing is, if you get a little bit more proactive and get in your car and go and talk to these people and say, hey, I heard, is it true? And they might go, yeah, it is. You go, great, I'd love to be able to help you. It's the hustle. You know, and here's the thing is, a little story I'll share with you. Going back 2008, for some crazy reason, I'll cut the story fairly short, but in 2008, I purchased a container load. Yes, a container load. That's 50 games of giant chests, big garden chests, a 2 foot tall plastic chest out of China. You go, well, why would you do that? Well, it just seemed like a good idea at the time. But I tell you what, it was about the hustle, getting those sold. It was always just be talking to people. You know, I sold a bunch of them in Whangarei where I live, but I also sold these across the islands to a B&B in Chatham Islands. I sold them down to Nelson and Invercargill. I sold them up to Kaitaia, sold them into Wellington, you know, and it was about just looking for an angle all the time. So I started actually contacting people who ran B&Bs or ran motels and caravan parks and things like that. I also emailed schools and so forth. You know, didn't wait for the customer to come to me. I went out and found my customers. It's about doing the hustle. Now, over a 4-month period, I sold 50 sets of these giant chess games, made about $20,000 profit. But don't ever be afraid to go and ask somebody for their business. And the more you hustle, the more you do that, the more you probe, the more questions you do, the more conversations you have, the more business you're going to get. So remember, always be hustling. Go along to network meetings. Go along and just talk to people. You're waiting for some mates to turn up and there's a few other guys having a beer out the back of the bar. Go and say g'day. Introduce yourself to them, or a coffee or whatever. Just start talking to them. Always been finding out what other people are doing. Nosy? Yeah. Business coming? Yeah. It's all good. Why wouldn't you do it? It's not a bad thing. Get known. Move ahead. You know, it's what I said months ago about being seen, get known, move ahead. Hustle, hustle, hustle. It's a really great way to find your business. It doesn't matter what you're in. You know, you can be water blasting somebody's driveway and you look over the fence and you see the neighbours could do with one. Why not go knock on their door and say, hey, I've just done Johnny's driveway. I noticed yours could do with a clean. Would you like us to have a shot at it? It would cost you X amount of dollars. You know, but if you don't ask, you might not even get the business. It's just the way to keep the hustle going. Always be looking for another deal, somehow, somewhere. I'm David Seymour. That's the nitty gritty of selling. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, keep up the hustle. Always be hustling.